How is it going then, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another video here on our channel on FIFA Analyst. Today we are bringing you a video where we are going to be discussing and showing you how to adapt in a game in FIFA, how to kind of change your playstyle based on how the opponent is playing. This is taken from a coaching session where in the first half you're going to see a particular thing happen for the player that we're coaching, and in the second half you're going to see a complete turnaround, and it's kind of what he does to actually get himself back into the game and give himself more of a chance moving on into the second half of the match. If you enjoy this video, if you find it helpful, if you find it useful, please do hit that like button and let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's go ahead and jump into the video.
Right then, let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. I've laughed at that purely, to be honest with you, because that to me is like FIFA 21 kind of summed up, isn't it? Like, you know, me and you both know full well that I think any other FIFA, if we would have attempted that through ball with Mbappe, I'd be shouting at you going, "What are you doing? Why are you trying that?" But on this FIFA, we've seen those through balls work, haven't we? Like we've seen,
and then you get the auto block with Kurzawa.
Yeah, of course. That's the only reason why I laugh, because it just kind of definitely sums up how the game is this year, with the through balls being OP. Funny.
Yeah, I kind of abused those this weekend. They were working really well.
Then need to cover that and put some pressure on a little bit.
Yeah.
Switch again, Sanchez, pulling back. That's fine. Well done. Back to keeper. Play it out. Nice. Well done. Good. Take time here. Put the pressure on. Put the pressure on.
Yeah. So that's as far as I go with putting pressure. I get close by, and then when they pass, I usually pull back. Same thing
here, this is fine because you can't be too aggressive here because of where the Davis got pulled out. I feel like here though, you've covered that pass to the striker now, right? So we spoke about this in the last session about how when the passing lane is covered, you carry on pressing as long as you're covering the passing lane. So if you run up like that, then that's no good, because obviously he's about to make that run across there. So you need to arc your run like that to either force him to turn back, turn away, lay the ball back, and so on. But you kind of hold your ground and then you come, but you kind of back off a little bit. Like, I felt like you could have been a little bit more aggressive there with the Davis, only because of where that Eusebio is. There was a bit of a gap for you. After this here, you know, you pull the Davies over because you have to. That's kind of where the man is. And then you switch back to the Davies. You switch to the Sanchez here at the right time. Press. You cover the striker. Fine. You lay that in. Now you... To be honest, it's... I don't actually think...
I watched this a few times.
I don't think you did anything wrong there, to be honest with you. I think you tried your best to cover the passing lanes. I was going to say switch quicker, but you switch quick enough. When you watch it in full speed, you switch to the defender. You spot that your Sanchez is the wrong side, and you need to switch to the other round quick enough. You know, if I rewind that and we watch that in full time, you switch more than quick enough. Like, that's not a problem. And then he just catches you with a directional nutmeg. And sometimes we do have to just sit back and go, you know what? Other than maybe the Davis being a little bit more aggressive here, other than that, you didn't really do anything wrong. And that isn't always like it's a great way to kind of look at it. But not every goal, there's always a mistake. You know what I mean? He worked that well. He was patient. He pulled it back. He moved your centre mids about. He recycled. He did what I would ask people to do when you find that pass and you're in between the centre mids and the centre backs. Literally, we just had a session half an hour ago with another student. And what he would have done here is more than likely he would have turned back away and recycled again, when I'd be saying, go for a scoop turn, go for a fake shot, go for a directional nutmeg, try and take on the defender. And that's exactly what he does to you. And it works a treat for him. So, to be honest, it's a good goal. It's a really good goal.
Yeah, it was so fast. I couldn't react with my Varane there. I couldn't do anything.
The heel-to-heel takes you away, doesn't it? That Royce is 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot.
5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot.
Yeah.
Right,
so you could have gone for a scoop turn, couldn't you? I think when you saw this kind of coming through here, the Vidal is slightly behind you. When a defender's slightly behind me, I normally tend to look for a scoop turn, a running fake shot, because it's like they're already behind. You just need to almost kind of go, oi, get off me, and just use that bit of pace, use that bit of speed boost to break away from him. You don't really get that with the heel to heel. The heel to heel doesn't give you a speed boost. It's a good skill move. Let's say if you were here now, right? Say if you just received the ball with Royce and there was the Vidal there, then it can be quite good to break away from them, but it doesn't give you that speed boost. So what you actually do now is you almost allow him to catch back up with that Vidal. I think a scoop turn here or a running fake shot into this gap here, and then obviously getting the shot off would have been better. And then yeah, obviously once you do take that shot, because it takes it away, that was always going to be blocked.
Yeah, I kind of thought that the heel to heel gave you a small speed boost.
It's
like you break away for a second and they catch up.
It's not really enough. Like when you do like a directional nutmeg or like a scoop turn, the visible difference in how much of a boost you get is quite amazing, really.
Right.
I think you got a little bit sucker punched in there with that Davis. I feel like here you should have. Is your Diatta and your Mbappe run come back on defense, right?
Yes.
So they basically play as the fullbacks. Here, you switch to the Diatta, which was good, and then you switch back to the Davis because you're worried he's going to lay that pass back across. Fine. You shouldn't have pulled the Davis over here. You should have switched back to the Diatta. So you know with the first goal where he kind of does quite a good job of pulling the gap between your two centre defensive mids further apart. He's trying to get them, you know, pretty much like that, really. So there's a big gaping hole through the middle here. That's what he's trying to do. He might not be like, you know, consciously like aware that he's trying to do that, but that's essentially what's going to happen now. So you pull that Davies over. I think you need to use your fullbacks here in this instance, because look at the gap here now in the middle. You want to keep Davies there as much as you possibly can, because now one turn, bang, and he didn't need to lay that pass off, did he? He turns now with Eusebio. He might go for, again, a directional nutmeg. You might go for a bridge, you know, whatever it may be, and he can drive at your defence. So just need to be a little bit careful of that, of pulling those two centre mids over, I suppose, or that one centre mid and leaving a gap in.
Yeah, I do that a lot because when I have a counter, they take my fullbacks or wingers take a bit to come back on defense. So I usually need to cover with my CDM.
Yeah,
fast counter. That's kind of one of the issues with this formation.
Yeah, you just have to be very, very mindful of it. Obviously, on the counter, fine, but back then you had the fullbacks back, you had the chances to pull them out instead. Again, another kind of another instance of like FIFA 21 in a nutshell, I suppose.
I feel like this was a good pass because he didn't have the player selected. My player was running full speed. I will try this again if I have the same opportunity.
I think you should. I think in the when you look at it, if we look at this as a checklist and go, should we done it? Shouldn't we done it? He's not controlling the defender. The defender stood still. You wait for the perfect time to lay the pass off, which is when that attacker's about to cross that defender. So well done for doing that. I suppose the only downside when you look at this is that it's Ronaldo laying the pass. You know, it's not like I don't know, Renato Sanchez. You know, it's not the best passer in the world, is it? But we all know that these are capable of going inch perfect to that Marco Reus. So it's not a don't do it again. You know, that ball obviously very much does work this year.
Yeah, it's Team of the Year Ronaldo. He has like 90.
Is it Team of the Year Ronaldo as well? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has 90 passing everywhere. So I
yeah, okay. I'll take that back then. Sorry, I didn't realise it was Team of the Year Ronaldo. Yeah, he definitely has the capability for that then, for sure. So when you constantly look for the through ball, obviously if they don't work, you keep giving the ball back to the opponent. This opponent here, you were 20-6 at this point, yeah? So you're pushing on the board of the elite, right? This opponent here is going to be a very high level, you know, very high level player. They're going to be happy recycling. If you keep looking for those through balls, you're giving the ball back to them, obviously, if they don't go through, and you're letting him take control of the game. Sometimes, I believe, at that higher level, you kind of want to... I don't know how to explain it, I suppose, in the right way. We're kind of making sense, but you at times want to be in control of the game. Like, so when like you watch football and everything, you know, when you're a lower level team, sometimes they'll just try and have those 10-15 minute spells of just moving the ball around, keeping the ball, you know, in their half, making the opponent work, maybe getting them to lose a bit of concentration. It's a similar concept that if you keep, so at the minute, what's happened in the 25 minutes of this game is you've been defending.
All the time.
Yeah, you've been defending all the time, which can lead to you pulling a centre mid out, making a mistake like we did with Roberto Carlos, backing off too much, which we're going to see in a second. And the opponent's in control. He's not had to worry yet, other than that one Marco Reus chance, which wasn't massive because the heel-to-heel kind of, you know, ruined it. And then when you have got the ball, which is twice, we've immediately just looked for these crazy through balls. And again, the second one that we saw there, Ronaldo, wasn't like a don't ever do that again, because we know it can work. We know it will work a lot of the times. Sometimes, though, we have to look at it maybe and go, I've not actually had the ball and put pressure on this opponent. I've not tested to see, can he play a switch? Does he cover the passing lanes? How good is he in a one-on-one when defending? We've kind of just got the ball and gone, through ball, go for it. Oh, lost the ball. Okay, back to defending now. We're kind of just in a bit of a shell. At this level, sometimes, even though through balls are strong, do just try and have 10 minutes of you having the ball, just to try and work him down that way as well. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does. It does. I think I tried that a bit later.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. So when this ball comes in here, you defend well with
for me now.
on the Discord, is it? Yeah,
On the Discord, yeah.
that's fine. Just tell me when it does. I tried changing to Google Play, Google thing the other day, and it was even worse. So just tell me if it does it, and I'll just keep refreshing.
This usually works pretty well. Okay. Not yet. I see the purple screen. Oh, wait a second. No, that's my fault. I can see that now.
Got it, yeah? So, this was a big let-off. A big let-off.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried about the 1-2?
I actually thought he was going to go with his Eusebio again, try some skill move with his Eusebio. He used him a lot, so I was more worried about that than anything else, and that's why my Varane started swaying side to side like that.
I think, I don't know if the movement that you do, what happens here, by the way, is that the opponent doesn't expect you to defend the way you defend. You get away with this, and this happens a lot, actually. You get away with this because he expects you to be a bit tighter. And what you do is you end up being so far away that he's already inputted, he's already said to himself, I'm going to do this because I expect you to defend tight. But because you've backed off so much, he's actually made himself look a fool, really. But it happens a lot to me. I expect people to defend better. They defend bad, but then it looks like I've just overworked it. When really, if you stayed touch tight here, this probably would have worked for him, you know, going for that. So what you do maybe saves you, I don't know, but you get away with it, in my opinion. What should we have done? When looking at this, I don't necessarily think your instant reaction to push the left analog stick back towards goal is a problem. What I feel like is the nail in the coffin, which moves you out here, is the fact that you hold the sprint button as well. This Eusebio isn't going to sprint. At the minute, he's just going to dribble. He may do a quick turn. He may do anything at standing scoop turn, and he may get that speed boost from that. And that's when you would enable the sprint button. But for you to switch to Varane and immediately sprint backwards, it makes you go back further than the penalty spot. If you just held the L2 button and kind of stand up and move back slightly, you wouldn't be as drastic in your movement then. Can you see how you just sprint so far away?
Yeah, he just flies. Yeah.
And then Eusebio's like, oh, if he rifles this, he scores, but he didn't expect you to do what you did, which is what kind of allows you to get back and claim that ball. Quite lucky, really. Okay. Well done. You wanted that to Mbappe. Back, well done. Again. Yeah, Mickey. Allow that. Switch to Davis, switch to Davis, switch to Davis, switch to Davis. Well done. Get pressure, grab the Sanchez, pull him back. Well done, that was good. Grab the Davis if you want, that's fine as well. Stick with him, stick with him. Switch, stand up, push the 1-2. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Well done. Better, much better. You waited for the right time then. You know, he did the fake shot stop, and that's when you come and stepped in, and then he went for the scoop, and then you managed to come away with it. Well done. Good defending. Hello. Don't play that first time. Well done. Come back. 1-2. Send that man on a run. Well done. Lovely. Need to lay that a bit quicker there. I don't think the direction of nutmeg was needed.
Yeah,
I just think you should have just laid it back.
Yeah, I screwed that. I wanted to get a bit away to get some space, and I got the other directional nutmeg, so I didn't get the space really.
Yeah. Well done in that attack though. It was good use of the L1, good use of recycling. Okay, so Carlos is over. Davis switch. No, too aggressive, pulling
I'm
back.
kind of doing the same here, right? With Davis.
Yeah. It was a bit too aggressive then. You stepped up. So like this is where I talk about priority passing. What's more dangerous here? This Vidal or that Eusebio? It's the Eusebio. So there you just have to be, you know, more mindful of the Eusebio. Like allow him to turn and go back here than opening up that lane to the Eusebio. So you get a little bit away with that. Go to him. Well done. That's yours. That's yours. Well done. Brilliant. Good use of the centre mid there. Ah, take your time coming out. I need to rush that. Get out to the right hand side then. I think you should have gone to the right there. Left, left. I just feel like here, as soon as you pick this up, where's the space? Like the space is out here. I just think attack the space. Get it away from the cluster in the middle and then work back into the middle when all of these players come back out to the right to try and cover. Take the touch and then just closes you down. This is a dangerous attack for him. Back in, well done. Switch. Davis, you can switch to him. Switch to Davis, well done. A little bit quicker maybe there on the Davis switch, but you got there in the end. Keep Chucky in. That 1-2 again. He's going to go for it again. Yours. Fine. Time coming out. Time. Tap the L1. Send the Royce. Well done. You don't have to use him. Okay, that's fine. You can do that as well. Well done. Good fake shot. Beat the man. Beat the man. Unlucky. I'm not going to say, oh, this was bad. Don't do this again. What you don't wait for here with the La Croqueta is for him to actually commit. So you do the fake shot stop. Maybe he looks like he's gonna commit, but then he doesn't. He changes off him. If he committed here, this would have worked. He just didn't commit, which maybe I'll let you off. Do I let you off on that one? In full speed, how does that look?
It was my first attempt of La Croqueta there. I usually try to not spam that too much.
Yeah.
I think read it perfectly. At this point of the game, I felt like he was closing me everything I was trying to do. That's how I felt right here.
A bit of a, I suppose, disappointing half. What have we had? One shot? Yeah, one shot.
Yeah.
We've gave the ball away a couple of times in areas we didn't need to. Aggression is certainly there a bit more in the middle, which is good to see. Kind of waiting for the right moment. I just don't feel like when you've had the ball, I don't feel like you've done enough with it because you're not allowing your team to actually transition forward and get into attack because you just kind of, there's a through ball on. Yeah, you're going for it almost every time. I'd like to see this second half in a game like this where the opponent's dominated really in the grand scheme of things. I'd like to see you come out and say, now my turn and I'm going to have the ball and I'm going to move the ball around. And I'm not just going to look for through balls constantly. Yes, if there's a killer through ball, we may go for it. But as a whole, I'd like to see you now build up properly, use those wing backs, the right mid, left mid that you've got, kind of recycle the play. We'll see if you do it, obviously, see if it kind of changes up at all. But yeah, definitely better in the middle with the Sanchez and the Davis. You can see that you're being a little bit more aggressive in the right areas. Oh, I hate that with the direction of nutmeg.
Yeah, I had a few of those this weekend.
I
read that. I did read that completely.
The issue that you've got, and I think even if you did fix this, you would have been fine. You switch to the Varane, but then you right stick switch again to the Davis. And then you press L1 and change back now.
Yep.
So it catches you out. Like,
I didn't realize about that. Yeah.
This happens a lot with the directional nutmeg and the bridge.
Mm.
You basically don't have time as a defender to actually do anything because they run forward onto the ball anyway. They're still chasing the ball, so the game automatically tackles you for you. It's such a cheesy way to get like, yeah, it's really frustrating actually because he's directional nutmegged or bridged into you here. No, directional nutmeg. Sorry, it's directional nutmeg. Directional nutmegged into you. Your Varane's there, but he's just tackled you at the exact same time. And there's not anything you can do. It happens so often. Such a cheesy way. Right in. I suppose the only... Could you look at here? You could argue, because from kickoff, the way everyone's lined up, you pull the Sanchez over, right? So look at the gap between Sanchez and the Davis, which obviously is always going to leave a bit more of a gap in the middle of the pitch. You could argue as soon as this ball comes back, you want to move Royce into here to cover for the Sanchez. But I think that may be me being a bit too particular.
Yeah, I could have been a bit more conservative with my CDM.
Yeah. You just want to be very mindful of the two centre mids. The bigger they pull the gap out, the easier way they've got to get against your centre backs. He's already got quite a high line anyway. That's really weird from the opponent, actually.
He did that a couple times. You will see later. It almost cost him the game at the end.
Wow.
I don't know why he tackles like that a couple times.
Good use of the L1 with the Marco Reus and the Ronaldo and the Cruyff as well, actually. Good ball, well scoop. And that's a well-timed through ball.
I think it's a regular pass, isn't it?
What's that, sorry?
I don't think it was a through ball. I think it was just a
normal
X-pass.
Yeah, normal X-pass, actually. It's frustrating for him because he tries to step in to it, but it never works. Like I do this, what he does with his defender, he knows full well what you're going to do here, so he tries to step into the pass. I do it all the time, but you never win the ball as the defender. It always finds its way through. It's so frustrating, but that's something to me that even though you know what he's going to do, the game just doesn't allow you to win it.
Yeah,
But
on the ball
yeah. Good goal though. Good goal. Good turn with a Royce and good finish as well. Back in. Well done. Come back. Come back. And get it out to the left hand side. Out towards the left. Everything's through the middle at the minute. As a whole. There you go.
Quite a bit. Later I get stuck in the middle, I think.
Okay, so now we're clustered up on that top side of the pitch. Come back. Well done. Recycle again. Man on the edge. Well done. Beat the man, maybe. That's fine. That's good. I don't mind that. Play it back. Well done. Keep recycling. Turn the Mbappe. Didn't say him on a run there when possibly you could have. Oh, hello. 4-way back. Can't lose it here. Well done. 1-2, 1-2. Yeah, Royce. Interesting that you didn't play that.
I usually will have, but I was trying to not lose the ball. I
Hello.
wanted to play the ball. And I wanted to give it back to him.
See, it makes me look silly, doesn't it, when I go, interesting when you didn't play that, and then you go and work a different angle and get a goal. Only reason why I say it's interesting you didn't play it is because the lane is open. You know, he's not stood in the lane. You let that pass in. You could go for a directional nutmeg like you did with Ronaldo in a sec. You could go for an elastico. You could go for a fair few things. But let's just all appreciate this is the first time in the game, really, where you've picked up the ball. When do you pick it up? Here? You know, we said at half time, I'd like to see you just get a bit more of a control on the game, move the ball around yourself, work the ball, don't just look for these through balls over and over and over again, which is what you did in the first half. You know, it was 2 through balls in your attack, and that was pretty much it. You had 3 attacks, well, you had 3 chances in that first half, and, you know, they were kind of ruined with just the 2 through balls that we did. This time round, you move the ball around, you recycle, you get back here. Okay, nothing on. So you go back to Royce. Do a little bit of a skill move here. Try to see if we can take him on. Nope, can't find my way through. Okay, so I'm just going to recycle. Nearly lost the ball there, but we still kept hold of it. You don't force your way through. You know, you don't pass the ball silly away. You use the width, which is good. Keeping him moving. Keeping him moving is 2 centre mids. On the ball with Ronaldo. Go back because you didn't have anything else on. Just fine. Good turn. Good dribble. Good little 1-2 here. You send the Ronaldo. You don't choose to go into Royce, but that's fine. Good little La Coqueta. You lay it back. Ronaldo. Exactly what I asked people to do. Drive past the defender. Into a gap. Goal. You scored that. You picked up the ball when? 56th minute, was it?
55, 54?
55, yeah, something like that. You just held the ball basically for, you know, good 8 minutes and you got rewarded for it. Again, I'm not saying hold the ball for 8 minutes every single time, but this is the first time in the game that you've made him work. You've made him constantly keep switching, him trying to apply the pressure, him trying to cut the passing lanes, him trying to win the ball back. It's a difficult thing to do. Concentration needs to be at, you know, the top level. And then bang, just drive, goal. Really, really good. Well done. I like that. Like, if you were to say to me, what would you know, what could I have done? Anything different in that? If you're saying if the goalkeeper saved it, that right there at half time, I asked you to basically just do what you've just done, and you've done it. So brilliant. And again, look, I'm not saying do that for every single attack. What I'm saying is when you notice you're in a game where the opponent's on the front foot, you're the one that's, you know, up against the ropes, that's the sort of thing that you need to start trying to do to get back into the game and have a bit of control yourself. Switch and up. Good use the offside trap there, actually. Risky.
I I almost screwed that up. It was very tight.
I mean,
it worked.
Yeah, it was good, but it was risky as anything. Normally, the offside trap works best, where like the time to do it when you're free to do so without being too worried is when the guy with the ball he's facing back towards his own goal. Because then even if he tries to turn a pass, it's still a slower animation. But when they do it when they're facing your goal already, then it is a little bit shady.
Yeah. Do it there or when they are making a side pass while the ball is traveling.
Yeah, the reverse Elasco would have been better there. I don't mind this though. 84th minute, trying to take a bit of a sting out. You know, you basically have the ball down until the end of the game. I hope that you just keep recycling here, unless a beautiful opportunity opens up, which at the minute there isn't. So don't lose it. Well done. Well done. That's the sort of thing we don't want to do. Okay, keep tracking. Go to him. That's fine. Go to him, Kent. Keep going, keep going. Stick with the Kent, stick with the Kent. Just stuck with the Kent. No need to change off him there. The Kent's fresh off the bench. He's got the pace to just keep going. He will catch up eventually. You change to the Zambrotta, which just allows him to keep going. I mean, he doesn't go for the cross anyway or anything, but sticking with the Kent would have been more viable. Just need patience now. Could use the offside trap again. Too.
Look at this.
No!
How can Ronaldo not make that pass? Come on. I got all the space and he passed against the defender.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him, that is. He wanted to just boot that out of play.
I have no idea where that pass was going.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you need to play the pass. This is where, I suppose, I don't know whether it's knowing the game or what. The way the Cruyff is running, his defender is going to track that Cruyff because it's his man. Which means, basically, once you beat this player with a ball roll coming in, you could have just ran like this with Ronaldo. And that Cancelo would have tracked that Cruyff that way. And you would have just been in here and just had a free shot on goal until he switches. And by the time he switches, it'll probably be too late.
Right.
Is it Cancelo or whoever it is? Yeah, Cancelo. Okay. That's as if he gave you that through ball there though. Mental.
I think it was just the tension at the end of the game.
Yeah.
He might lose in the last second.
Also, as well though, you have to remember that you nearly technically gave him a chance to win that game by that silly pass with the Renato Sanchez in the 86th minute. Just you've done so well in the second half of getting back into the game. You kind of realizing, you know what, I've not played well. He's had the ball, all that sort of stuff. Not going to go over it again. But you've took control. So massive well done for that. Keep that on your forefront of mind that you've done it once before. Now you can do it again in future games because it will happen again. You don't want to throw away that hard work of coming back down, losing the game, of 87th minute, laying a pass off like that with Renato Sanchez and just giving him a free attack, essentially. Scoop turn. Little bit.
It seems like a pattern. You mentioned a scoop turn a few times.
Yeah.
I never go for a scoop turn there.
A scoop turn there. So you could go for a scoop turn, you could go for a directional nutmeg. I prefer the scoop turn because I find it is harder for the opponent when they're behind you to intercept and take the ball off you without giving away a foul. So you've got your back slightly towards the goal here. I want to see you drive into this space and attack this space. So for you to do the scoop turn here, square an X, push that left analog stick where you want to go, which is here, yeah, the 45, 60 degrees normally, and you will be... Not that you'll beat him every single time, but it's very difficult for an opponent to defend that because you're protecting the ball at all costs. Look how, if you were to scoop turn here, imagine how a scoop turn works. Ronaldo keeps right close to Sambia and he keeps himself between the ball, doesn't he?
He kind of slides against Sambia.
Yeah, exactly. And you possibly would have been in behind then for that shot. Or if you wanted to do it, I've seen you do it. You could have done a ball roll scoop, but that's a little bit more, I suppose, advanced.
I think adding that scoop turn to my skill moves, I know how to do it. I usually just don't go for it. That could be a good thing to add there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a directional nutmeg would have worked as well, but like the way he's just done it there. That is very unfortunate for him. That was really good football.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what a goal. And then I saw,
he's on the flag.
I was like, okay, never mind.
Can we just say well done, though, to that defending with that Varane? The fact that he beats you there, I'm talking about this here. He's done this once to you already in the game. You defend that so much better this time round. So well done there. That was really, really good. The bit after it, I'm going to be honest, I think you commit too easily. I think you try to get touch tight when I think you could have just... You see how here you've maintained a good distance? Now you try and win the ball here. I think in the 97th minute, when it's 2-2, you want to be a little bit more cautious inside the area to do something like that. Because if you don't get it wrong and you allow him... Like, he could have probably hit this here. Could he have scored? I don't know. Maybe not. But either way... Once that Varane's out of the game, you're in big trouble. Your Roberto Carlos didn't track the runner that comes in here. He leaves him, just lets him go. Yep, that's fine. You've defended so well here because you've not been aggressive. You've not been too passive. Before where you ran off Miles, that was being too passive. You weren't too aggressive in this instance. Now, as soon as he does this fake shot stop, this is where you go and step in. I don't mind you doing this and trying this when it's maybe, the 30th minute and it's 1-1 or something. I think in the 97th, you have to just be that little bit more, okay, if I'm going to be aggressive here, it's extra time. It's probably going to be very difficult for you now to go and get that goal and get back in. I'm not saying be passive and just run away from him, but just keep yourself goal side and maintain that distance to be able to get a block in if he does lay it off or does take a shot. While he's there now, he just shrugs it past you.
Yeah, definitely. Bit more patience there.
Yeah.
Then see what happens.
I've got my eyes closed now because I didn't like what I just saw with Kent, and I'm really hoping that when I open my eyes, I'm not seeing a goal conceded. Corner. Ooh, you scared me then. This was ludicrously crazy in the 111th minute. This here is bread and butter for you. You know he's going to lay this ball off and send him on a run for a 1-2. You drag the Kent back. He doesn't go down the line. He now moves it over to the other side of the pitch and works it out. You pull the Kent forward like you do, and you go on, buddy, have a run down the line. Crack on. That's... Look now. Who's come over, by the way, to recover for Sanchez, for Kent's mistake, Sanchez? What has that allow left in the middle of the park?
Yeah, we have a big hole there for
a
Jones.
gaping hole. Yeah, so we just have to be so mindful there. Luckily enough, he's kind of froze, which has allowed everyone to get back and get into the right positions.
Yeah, I think I was pissed there because I missed the other opportunity and
Yeah.
And was a bit too aggressive. Well, a lot too aggressive.
Yeah, just a little bit. Come back. Well done. Switch this out. That'll do. Ball down the line. Send it if you want. Send it. Unlucky. I don't mind you giving that a blast. I think if you took one touch too many, but I don't mind just trying that.
I think we were bouncing the ball, and I didn't want to send it with the ball bouncing.
Yeah. Switch to Kent. Well done. Stick with him. Now switch. Well done. Switch. Well done. Cover. Switch. Fine. Would have possibly switched there myself, but that was fine. Still got there.
Yeah, we went to penalties.
Okay, right then. Are we going to win on penalties? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to believe in our coaching student. Believe that the Analyst Academy knows how to take penalties. Not a good start. Yeah, get in. You don't put much power on them.
No, I usually don't. Is that something that I should do?
Maybe just 2 bars. I think both of them there. You only put 1 bar on, which is like a very pathetic side, tap. Like, if he would have done 1 bar then, you probably would have saved that. So you do like half a bar again. Yeah,
that's what I usually do. I didn't think it really made much of a difference.
It's just obviously the ball travels a bit quicker, doesn't it? It's a bit more oomph, a bit more power behind it. No. Oh, you. Ooh, you cheeky boy. You scared me then, you did. Penalty. Good penalty. Not really in the corner. Going to the right, isn't he? You make a mistake there as well. What I don't like, when you step up for a penalty, so we've already said about the power bar, I'd like to see a little bit more. You need to move. Once you've pressed the shoot button, the head movement then is gone. So you press shoot now.
Yeah, I usually wait more. Yeah, I thought I had to wait more till the play is closed.
No. So as soon as you press shoot, the head movement stays. It stays down the middle. Now move it to the corner you want to go to, because you leave it till halfway throughout the run up. Now you move it and he's about to hit the ball. So now you're scared to put it in the corner because you're leaving it till the last minute. As soon as you press circle, move that cursor right to the corner. There's no excuse not to have it in that corner or that corner. Now, up here is a lot harder. I never hit my penalties up high because it is harder to keep the analog there. But in the bottom, you have to do it. So as soon as you press shoot, get it into that corner, right? Because that's a perfect height for a goalkeeper to save, isn't it? Perfect. So again, 2 bars of power. Once you press shoot, put it there. Now this here, you make a tiny mistake. What do you think the mistake is?
I mean, I'm a bit to the left, so if he really puts it close to the right side, I'm not going to make it. So my logic there is I've seen some people doing this, and they cover both the center and the right side if they don't put it very close to the right. So that's what I tried here, like a Hail Mary.
Yeah, you're right. I've done a YouTube video on it myself. You are right in saying, move over. But what you need to do is as they come to strike the ball, you need to move the guy back across, the goalkeeper back across the goal. So the aim of it is that as they're about to hit it, you're going to be stood here or wherever, whichever angle you go. And as they're about to hit, your goalkeeper should be moving across. So they're still going to dive from here, the centre of the goal. But the difference is that when they dive, they kind of stick their legs out. So they almost look... Excuse the drawing. Like that. Like they cover more of the goal. While as when you just stand still, they don't leap the same. But when you move, they leap a bit differently. Which is why you kind of need to do it. All right. So yes, that is a tiny bit of a mistake. I wouldn't say that's cost you that penalty shootout. I think that what's cost you is not putting enough power on it, and not putting them into the direct corner as well. All right.
Well, I learned some things about penalties today.
Yes, exactly. Always learn something new, which is good. Always learn something new. So I mean, from that, to be honest, the first half was disappointing. Right? You can get away with that early on in the weekend league, like first 5 games, when you're up against not as high level of opponent. I felt like you weren't in that first half. Against an even better opponent, you could have been 3-4 nil down, and then it's a much more of a mammoth task. All right, when you start to get to this tougher elo, I'm not saying don't look for the through balls, because we know the through balls work, but you could clearly tell that opponent was happy passing the ball around on your edge and being patient with it. What they don't like is when they don't have the ball. Did you notice that when you started to control the ball, like you saw, he did some of those silly slide tackles, he pushed a few men out of position. Sometimes take their game back to them and say, I'm going to do what you're doing to me and frustrate you. If a killer through ball comes on, and it's 0-0, 1-1, then you can go for it. But when you're 2-0 down and you're constantly then looking for that through ball and you keep giving the ball back, you're never really going to find that way back into the game that easily. Yeah, some of the through balls will work and you will get in behind. Of course you will. I'm not saying that they won't. You will. But I just think at times you almost need that confidence boost yourself to just say, I've just worked a good chance there, instead of just getting the ball, bang, look for a through ball, bang, look for a through ball. And you did that in the second half, and you got back into the game via that method, which is exactly what we want to see. I do think you need to be mindful of your centre mids, and pressure was much better. Well done. You need to be mindful, though, of not to pull the centre mid out to the wing as much. Use your right wing back and your left wing back that you've got in the 3-5-2 when required, all right? Because sometimes you just open up that gap a little bit too easy in the middle of the park for the opponent then to work that ball kind of into you as well. And then, like we said, when you lay that ball into the striker, we saw the directional nutmeg from yourself and you got a really good goal from it. Well done. Adding that scoop turning could be really beneficial for you as well, to just give you another tool in your arsenal as well.
So then, there you have it, and ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed. As I said before, if you did, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.